I'm here with Bob. Bob, tell me a little bit about what you do and for how long you've been doing it.
Hey, Nate. Yeah, thanks for having me. So I'm the CTO at Maverick Protocol. This is a decentralized finance exchange that we're just launching. I've been at that for about a year. Maverick's raised about $9 million in the past year to build this decentralized exchange.
Okay.
And the idea is to allow people on the blockchain to trade crypto tokens with each other.
Okay, awesome. So who's the ideal customer for that business?
Yeah, so anyone who has a digital currency and wants to exchange it for a different digital currency. So it's really a market, just as if you buy or sell traditional fiat currencies, it allows you to exchange digital currencies. So anybody who's got those kinds of currencies, those kinds of assets, and wants to exchange them on the blockchain, we're for them.
Okay, great. So the business kind of emerged during COVID or on the tail end of COVID. Was there anything that happened during the pandemic that maybe made cryptocurrency more front of mind for people, or how did that affect your business?
Yeah, there's a few things. So from one on the working perspective, we've been I've been at Maverick, and then previously, since the start of COVID, completely remote. So I've been working completely remote with engineering teams and R&D teams, the whole stack. And I found that to be really, really kind of liberating. I mean, I enjoy working from home or working with some flexibility. And I think the teams enjoy that as well. I think COVID also gave people more kind of free time to explore novel things like cryptocurrencies. So I think we saw a real flourishing of cryptocurrencies in 2021. And part of that is that people had extra time as they weren't commuting and doing these other things that you used to have to do.
Yep. Awesome. So tell me a little bit about you. You've obviously had some business experience and some entrepreneurial experience. Are there any mistakes that you've made along the way that maybe other young entrepreneurs could learn from?
I think early on in my entrepreneurial journey, I had a tendency to say yes too much and kind of maybe spread myself and my focus too thin.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you're building a company, you need to pick a thing and commit to it, and then kind of continuously asking yourself multiple times a day, is what I'm doing right now furthering the immediate goal of launching this product or landing this customer or whatever your immediate goals are? And if the answer is no, then you need to stop doing what you're doing and start doing that. So I think focus, really intentional focus, is my best advice there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can definitely speak to that in my own life. Learning to say no is it's a difficult lesson, but it makes the rest of your focus much more productive.
Yeah, definitely.
So tell me about along your journey, have you had a coach or a mentor that has stood out, and why?
Sure. I've been lucky to have excellent bosses through my whole career, but I think my first boss in graduate school, my graduate school advisor, she taught me a ton of things. How to be productive, how to write well, and how to engage with stakeholders and research projects. And in that case, but then that translated to just a broader ability to engage with stakeholders and honestly help sell them whatever you're trying to convince them of, whether it's a positive research result or whether it's they need your product.
Awesome. So the future is very bright for cryptocurrency. Tell me a little bit about what you think that future looks like. Are there any challenges you see moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I like to think of it as we're still internet in the 90s kind of a position in Web3 and crypto. The vast majority of people, if you approach someone on the street, only one in the hundreds actually touched real on-chain cryptocurrencies.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people maybe interact with things like Coinbase, which is a great way to get into the ecosystem. But crypto is much bigger than that, and it's building out these decentralized blockchains that let you do all kinds of new financial and non-financial things with less friction. So it'll let us get middlemen out of the process of financial processes. It'll let us empower people in developing countries to have currencies that don't get devalued very easily.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's lots of neat stuff coming out of that. And so what Maverick is a decentralized app built on top of the blockchain. We're going to see more and more of these dApps, these decentralized apps built and enabling all kinds of new neat stuff.
Okay, great. So what is one thing you would recommend to a young person today that may be going out on their own, starting their first business?
I think you need to know, you need to have your plan pretty well baked. I think some people think that, entrepreneurship, you're just kind of jumping out of the nest and hoping that you can fly. I think you need to have some expertise or some business model that you've already kind of proven as either a side hustle or through some other means that you know is going to work. Otherwise, you get a much longer shot of it. So I think that's the trick: is go find something, some niche where there's actually a market, and develop that before you take the leap.
Great. So how can people find you or Maverick? What's the easiest way to get in touch?
So I'm on Twitter, which is kind of the go-to space for crypto people. Maverick is mav.xyz is our website, and we haven't released our app yet, but it's in what's called testnet phase. So you can go to Maverick or mav.xyz and try our testnet, interact with our smart contract right now.
Okay, great. And last thing, what inspires you most today as you move forward in the business?
It's really just like the energy in the community of building the next internet, really, this next decentralized internet and the new applications that will come along with it. It's an extremely exciting time.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, hey, Bob, I really appreciate your time today. Thank you for joining me for the interview.
Sure. Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks, Nate.